just want to say welcome. Can I just get a show of hands on who is not based in Singapore here? That's not based in Singapore? Okay, that's a good like 50%. Awesome. And I guess the rest of you are based in here. For those based here, any of you been to any of the talks? Or do I look familiar, or Brendan or Rahman familiar? Any of you guys have been at talks before? No? Okay. So I think most of you are pretty new to everything, which is good. Here's the agenda for today. We passed registration. Now we're on the introduction. Then we'll have 4 speakers from 4 different countries and 4 different projects. And we'll have Brendan from Injected to give us a bit of a spiel from his company. And then later on at the end, we'll finish with some networking. We are get kicked out at 5 o'clock, but I'm pretty confident we'll have a lot of time for people to network, get some copies, and that's coffee in Singapore speak, and some tea, and some Singaporean pastries that we've got prepared for you. So it's going to be a good day. Good afternoon. So just a little bit of about us. I'm one of the organizers for Solidity Singapore and ProgCryptoSG. So Solidity Singapore is a blockchain developer-focused meetup. So I think we do a meetup once every couple months. We're laughing because supposedly we have been a little bit lazy, but that's all right, you know. And I'm also, I'm also one of the organizers for ProgCryptoSG. So it's almost like a where we straightly talk about programmable cryptography, or applied cryptography in blockchain. And then we also have dApp developer from DADC, which Brendan's one of the organizers. So, and that's focused on dApp development. So, yeah. So here's, in case you want to join our community, especially for those in Singapore, you might want to come back here. And even for those who are not from Singapore, you might want to look us up again next year, because this is like our second time doing an event at a pre-Token2049. So it's a bit, what we do is also a little bit different than what Token is about. If you guys have been to Token, you guys would realize that that's a lot about the finance side, the trading side, the fundraising side of things. Whereas us, the 3 organizations or meetups that I mentioned, are mostly focused on developers. And yeah, so I mean, even though I'm not from Singapore, I've only been here for a couple of years, but I was quite, when I first got here, I was quite amazed at the amount of tech talent that actually Singapore has, which is not always so obvious, because the finance side and all that kind of stuff kind of is very loud, right, compared to the developers. So we always welcome, developers or people who are aspiring to be developers, and even cryptography researchers to come and join us. So. Lastly, just want to give a shout out to Injective, which is Brendan's company, for sponsoring the F&B today, and to SMU Blockchain Club. So SMU is the Singapore Management University, the venue that we're in right now, for giving us this venue. Because venues are very tough to get this week. It's probably the toughest week, the busiest week in Singapore by far. I think most Singaporeans would agree with me.
I'll just add on that we tried to do one last year. It didn't happen because we just couldn't get a venue. So count yourself.
Yeah, or it's very, very expensive. Yeah. So we're very happy. We did book like about 4 months in advance, so and we still couldn't get one on the weeknights. But yeah. If you're in Singapore, again, we organize these events every couple of months. And it's mostly in person. So we don't do too many online. But if you're in town, do let us know. And with all that out of the way, let the talks begin.